Thank you very much, my brother, and God bless the people of Amazonia. Today, the 28th of November 2023. I came in here today to continue to tell the people of Amazonia that our nation, Amazonia, has a history, and the history must be repeated. And when history is repeated, it doesn't go in vain. At least there is one person who will hear it and hear it again and understand. A few days ago, I was talking to a group of people who actually, for the past 5 years, have been listening to me talking, but it just dawned on them when I repeated history that I know that I have been repeating. And it was like they are hearing it for the first time, and it was not true. Anybody that knows me understands and knows that I've been very much on history, and I want to talk history as much as possible. And even if I'm repeating it, as long as there is breath in me, I will repeat the history. And the history that I'm repeating may not be the 1960 history, maybe just what happened yesterday. But of course, I won't fail to repeat the 1960 history because that is the bedrock of why and where we are today. And I will not keep quiet. I will not close down, but I'll continue to say it. History is what has happened that we can either learn good from it or learn bad from it and desist, or learn from its past and change strategies. That's what I call history. And Amazonia has a history. And the history of Amazonia is a long history. But not to bother the people that are listening to our history, we want to very briefly cut it down as much as we can cut it down. And so I'll be bringing in one of my friends. He actually made an audio, and I'll be putting him to speak some of the things that he is mentioning, which I believe that are very important for people to listen to and to hear. But before I get into that, I want to say that history is repeating itself. Last year or so, when we warned the people of Amazonia that La Republique is carrying out genocide on the Amba land, and the Amba land has very clear, distinctive identities and also things that can prove that La République du Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Amazonia are two different entities. People did not want to believe it, and they left and went to Boya for the Mount Boya. It's not Mount Cameroon, it's Mount Boya, or we call it now Mount Amazonia. La Republic has done everything to pollute our names, change everything, and put it to indicate that it is their own. But Mount Boya is not Mount Cameroon. And not only that, I still want to make this audience to know that our history in this struggle and fight in which we are started off in 1961. That's the brief of why we are here with La République du Cameroon. When 1st of January 1960, La République had their independence, Dr. Jongo Foncha, who was the Prime Minister of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, at that time called Southern Cameroons, went there as an important personality, as a VP, as a president of a country, a very important personality. He was received in the red carpet because he was a leader of a nation that was given a resolution for their independence, just like La République du Cameroon was given a resolution. Resolution 1349, Article 13, is found in the records of the United Nations for Republic of Cameroon, Category B country proposed for independence. And this proposal and independence took place on the 1st of January 1960. I repeat myself. Resolution 1349, Article 13, is found in the records of the United Nations, and this resolution is for Republic of Cameroon, meant for their independence, that took place on the 1st of January 1960. Still, in the records of the United Nations, another Category B territory that was being prepared for independence has a resolution, and the resolution is Resolution 1608, Article 15 of the United Nations Charter. Category B, called Southern Cameroons, that was to receive her independence in the 60s. And her independence came in on the 1st of October 1961, making a clear, distinctive difference and division that Southern Cameroons, now Ambazonia, and Republic of Cameroon, now Republic of Cameroon, does not and will not and was not and is not one country with the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia. The United Nations charters, they know it. The United Nations General Assembly decisions with these resolutions actually have this in their books. Now, for Ambazonia to be undergoing a genocide with La République du Cameroon is mysterious. But we are going to demystify the mystery to let the world know that Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, was not a part of La République du Cameroon when they gained their independence on the 1st of January 1960. The boundaries are there. If you go back to the 1960, before 1960, you see Cameroon has changed her flag 3 times. The first flag was green, red, yellow with no star. The second flag was green, red, yellow with 2 stars. And then the last flag is green, red, yellow with 1 star. And somebody just hinted me that the last 20th May that La République was celebrating, if you watch the flag, it had no star. I've tried to verify it, and I've not actually gotten it, but I'm still making a research to that. And also, during the centenary of La République du Cameroon, 2 maps were sent by Ban Ki-moon, who was the Secretary General at the United Nations. He sent a certain man, I've forgotten his name, who carried the 2 maps and gave to La République du Cameroon, to Paul Biya, to make him to understand that even though he is trying to occupy the land called Ambazonia, southern Cameroons, he should understand that there are 2 different nations, and even though all the parties are trying to play a hide and seek, the truth is they were never one nation. And so the annexation was not even the plan of the United Nations. That was just about 13 years ago that this map was delivered. Paul Biya is still alive, or whether dead alive, but he knows what we are talking about. And many of you who have been listening to ABC, you have heard and you have seen that map shown several times. Not only that, Dak Hammarjob, who was to actually do the complete decolonization of Ambazonia, was killed when he was coming back from Congo. And the people who killed him, they know themselves. They have been doing that. And of course, Britain and France cannot be delivered from that joke that they take away somebody's life just because they want to make their gains. Where is Ahijo? He's gone. Where is Paul Biya? He's a chaff. He's just a burden and putting people in bondage because he himself has become useless. Everybody, as far as this life is concerned, one day you become useless. And I heard this, my friend, who took up to examine the visit of the president of South Korea, who is now visiting a number of people. And he came up with the history of Ambazonia to educate this particular president that in his moving around, he should do something to have Ambazonia become what it should have been for this length of time. Now let's just listen to him. Come in, my brother.
When he came over in 1961, that there is this joining the people of the southern Cameroons to the Republic of Cameroon is like putting a balloon under the water. One day that balloon will come out. The action of South Korean statesman leading the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, in 2010, is one of the symbolic actions that took that balloon up a little bit and was almost on the surface. Because that action was passing a message to the government of La République du Cameroon that, you see, you are sitting on 2 nations. This land you are governing is made up of 2 territories, 2 independent states, and there's no treaty of union that has been deposited with the United Nations to make you have a full right of terminating your boundaries that were already there in the United Nations when you gained independence on the 1st of January 1960. So this 60-something years of staying on the land of the Ambazonian land is considered by United Nations as occupation. This is considered by United Nations as annexation. If you think you want to keep staying on these people's land, then you must have to get into talks with them so that they give you the permission to sit on their land because we don't recognize the territory of Cameroon to incorporate that of the southern Cameroons or that of today called Ambazonia. That was an action taken by an envoy, a delegation sent by Ban Ki-moon during his own term of office as the United Nations Secretary General to La Republic, to tell them, to pass them a message. The pictures are out there. So I was almost happy that it may be the South Korean statesman must have briefed the current President Yoon on the symbolism of the map, because the symbolism of that map is all about our history. That map where that envoy gave the two maps to Paul Biya is all about our history, is what transpired in 1961, but the binding agreements were not there. So that map speaks too much. So I was almost happy about the meetings of King Charles III and Yoon, but what brought me down a little bit to start not too happy is because I don't even know whether President Yoon of South Korea has gained interest about the 7-year war that has been going on in the Amazonia land. I don't even know whether President Yoon is aware or is informed about the 7-year war that we have been going on, the war of independence, the Amazonian War of Independence. I don't even know whether he's aware. I don't know if the presidency of Amazonia, that means Dr. Samuel Sako and his vice, Mr. Eric Ate, has communicated to the South Korean diplomat or to the South Korean governing authority or to President Yoon to seek for his own support to the liberation of our independence, to the recognition of our independence that was granted in 1961 by the Hamajok, that was never fulfilled, we have never achieved it because of some crook regimes in Yaoundé and the partnership they have with Paris. So,
my dear friends, that is a brief of what my friend is saying. He has not ended. He will still be coming back to share more insights with us. So when the insights are coming, I will let you know when uh, everything comes up. But what we are saying here is that the Ambazonians are now in a genocide that is not supposed to be there. It's not supposed to be there because the decolonization of Ambazonia, as it was purportedly done to French Cameroon, and they are now living their life, although all the other French colonies in Africa are going through a certain pain, which is not where we are talking, but most of the countries that were under the British rule have a popular freedom that they can now do things without getting permission from France. I remember Macron, in one of the contacts by one French person, he told them that I have ordered that Camto should be released. So most of the things are done by France in La République du Cameroon. I don't know why he has not ordered that the roads in Yaoundé should be tarred, at least. Anyway, that's their cup of tea. But what we are saying here is that Ambazonia must be free as per our history. I told some people a few hours ago that I was listening to the history of the life of Kagame. I saw that as a refugee in Uganda, he did not just go there and went to the farm. He integrated himself, went to school. From school, he joined the army. In the army, he excelled. And when the time came, God took him out and sent him to do what is happening now in Rwanda. I believe that La République du Cameroon, used by France to try everything to destabilize our going back to our land, because France is very good in everything evil. The highest evil in the world, touch France, they will manufacture it for you. And their replicate is La République du Cameroon. They are good at anything that is evil. Yes, occultism and other things like that. They do not care about the welfare of other human beings. Anyway, our history is so clean and clear that I would like to call this brother to continue with his story about Ambazonia and what he expected and thought the president of South Korea could do in order to help the Ambazonians. Let's go over to him. Yes.
You have contributed so much, Daddy. Yes. Ban Ki-moon, the South Korean statesman, God bless you wherever you are, Daddy. If Ambazonians realize their recognition today, you have worked so hard. Some silence. You worked silently until one action spoke of your silence effort, and that one action was the delegation with 2 maps to be handed to Paul Biya. We want to thank you. Yes. You continue from where Kofi Annan ended, try to resolve the Bakassi Peninsula conflict between the Cameroons and Nigeria, and you got that conflict resolved. But Kofi Annan left something on the table and you picked it up and you pushed the effort. You could not do more than what you did that day, because it was during your own term of office that you solved the conflict within the Sudans. It was during your own term of office that you saw John Garang move the people of South Sudan to their independence, though he went down along the way. So you could not do more than that. It was too much on your tables. The work to be done was too much on your tables. When you successfully granted the independence of the South Sudan, you pushed that of Ambazonia to a limelight by handing the 2 maps. By your term of office, you could not meet up to completely eradicate or solve the problem, and you handed the whole show now on your decks for Antonio Guterres to complete the work. So I am sending this message out to inform the president of South Korea that if you were not informed about the works of, if your statesman Ban Ki-moon has not informed you about the basis of this war in Ambazonia, please, you can get in touch with Ban Ki-moon. Ban Ki-moon knows too much about where we were, the genesis to our problem, the genesis to the massacre that is taking place on our land. The recent one being that in Manfe, where more than 25 citizens of Ambazonia were butchered and burned down in their houses. You can get in touch with your statesman Ban Ki-moon. He'll be able to brief you. But I know that South Korea is no longer a third world country or a backward economy as they were in the 50s during the Korean War, or as they were in the 60s when they did not embrace globalization and open economy and their relationship with the Americans that have moved them to wherever they are. Today, South Korea is not a country that is lacking behind. Even in the G20 summit, they are always invited. Even in the Security Council, there are sometimes non-permanent members invited, which means South Korea is fully aware of international politics and international diplomacy, and they are fully involved. If they are today around number 12 or 13 performing economy in the world, then their voice also counts. So please, I know you are you must have known. Yes, I know deep in me that you must have had some information about the crisis that is taking place on the Amazonian land. How our people are marched and killed on daily basis by a rogue regime in Yaoundé, guided and controlled by Paris. That's why I said I was almost happy that you took a movement across Europe, but not too happy because I doubt whether all this information you are fully aware of it. And when I was that happy, I know that during the toasting, you could still tell King Charles, based on information from your statement, that my statement Ban Ki-moon briefed me about the symbolism of the two maps he handed to Paul Biya in 2010. While you made Roshi Sonak, you could still tell him that my statement Ban Ki-moon briefed me about the symbolism of the two maps he handed to Paul Biya in 2010. And while in Paris, you could still gossip in the ears of Emmanuel Macron and say that there come a time where King Pharaoh could no more stop the people of Israel to live because God has said, please let my people go. And you could still tell President Emmanuel Macron that you see this symbolism of the two maps, please, sometimes in certain scenario we can accept losses. It is not actually losses because you can still gain. President Emmanuel Macron, please, you can still gain, even though you hand independence and free these people. There's still another turnaround diplomatic steps that you can still take with these people and still benefit on whatever thing you have been trying to benefit in the past. So that could be the voice of President Yon to President Emmanuel Macron. If President Yon is fully informed, and if President Yon has gained interest in the liberation of the people of the southern Cameroons, today Amazonia, I just pray to God that this visit President Yon took to the Europe, he must have been briefed by his statement Ban Ki-moon about the genesis of the problem and the symbolism of the two maps. And I'm now back to President Yon. Sir, if you see the way you structure South Korea or the way South Korea is structured, and look at the way La Republic is structured, I don't think that indeed we are part of La Republic.
All right. Thank you very much, brother, for that historical output there. I very much believe that um, the program for Ambazonia, little by little, will get back to where we're actually supposed to be. And calling on this statement to come in and do the best they can do to let La Republic go back to their boundaries as at their independence on the 1st of January 1960, because history is very clear that United Nations cannot show us a union treaty with Southern Cameroons and Republic of Cameroons tabled at the United Nations saying that we are one country. There is no union treaty, and that's why the boundaries are still there. That's why the cultural differences are still there. And that's why La Republique, that have violated almost every law in their own land, as well as international laws, and seemingly nobody is doing anything with such a criminal regime, is so surprising that in the world today, it appears that good men are missing and truthful men are not found, and honest men are scarce. If it was not so, I do not see why 7 years have gone and nobody is seemingly saying anything, does it mean that La Republic has blinded the minds and the eyes of everybody? Or what is going on? That the truth is found there in the archives of the United Nations. 1st of January 1960, independence of La Republic of Cameroon. 1st of October 1961, independence of Southern Cameroons, now Ambazonia. Does it mean somebody cannot and does not see what's going on now? Well, I just hope that somebody will hear and do something. Let's get back to our brother who has our father, he knows your name. I want to say that our Father God knows Ambazonia and knows that name Ambazonia. And because he knows that name Ambazonia, let's get back to him. Brother, can you come into the studios? Thank you very much.
Now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the pillow. I'm a father, you know my name. Papa, you know me. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yelele, 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 yelele. Yeah, yeah. Jesus, your love, now oh. My master, your kindness, now wonder oh. Every time I look around, now you are the sea. Every time I turn around, now you are the field. Jesus, you said I be a picking no. Jesus, you said your love will cover.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Jesus, you say, I be a Peking. And our brother is still recounting the history that we should know. And he is telling the president of South Korea this history of ours, reporting some of the things that had happened and what is not going on. I still want us to listen to him as he continues now talking about our infrastructures. Brother, please come in. Thank you for joining me today in this broadcast so that we can educate our people and make them to get up again, know our history, and know where we are standing. Over to you.
I just destroy it. They open a seaport in Douala. At the same place where there's an airport, they open a seaport. Before Ban Ki-moon could hand over the two maps delegation to Paul Biya, when they handed it, before they could hand it, Paul Biya have sent a delegation to put a cornerstone, a pillar stone for the development of the seaport in Limbe. He has sent Ephraim Enoni, the then Prime Minister, to come and place a stone of constructing the seaport in Limbe. But when Ban Ki-moon sent the delegation to hand the two maps to Paul Biya, France advised Paul Biya not to construct the deep seaport in Limbe, but to carry it to Kribi. If they know that they don't own us, why are they killing us, sir? Yes. I'm saying this because your statement was supposed I believe your statement must have briefed you. If they know they don't own us and they are doing discrimination in developmental initiatives, all the seaports in La Republique du Cameroon, all the airports in La Republique du Cameroon, they destroy all ours and then construct theirs. Even there is a thermal electricity power, Yoke, that will supply electricity to all the Amazonian land. That Yoke electric power brought down where they construct their idea. So they make us dependent. They marginalize us. No developmental initiatives on our land. If they don't own us and they are discriminating, according to Paris advised them that don't develop the seaport in Limbe. When you see these two maps, it means these are two separate states. It means this one day these people will get up according to the words of the hammer job. As you have put them under the sea as a balloon, one day they'll come out. If you keep developing them and they go out, they'll go with these developmental initiatives. Now we have come out and asked them to let us go. Why are they killing us? This is just what I'm asking. So, sir, South Korea follows regional balance in their developmental initiatives. La Republic do that regional balance in their own La Republic and abandon the southern Cameroons. If they abandon the southern Cameroons, then they don't own us. They should pack out of our land. Once more, the Republic of Ambazonia, once more to President Sako and his vice and all the cabinets, if you have not yet reached out to the South Korean presidency or to the South Korean diplomat, please take efforts and reach out to President Yoon of the South Korea, say our case to him so that he may.
Well, thank you very much, brother, for that piece of advice. I'm sure the president and the rest are very aware and are listening to it. And let's get back to our brother to give us something, and then we'll continue with this history for a few more minutes. I will call it quit for today. But brother, we'll be coming back to you. Let's hear our brother in Father, you know our name.
Every time I look around, now you are the pillow. Abba Father, you know me, you know my name. Abba Father, yeah, you know me, you know my name. Papa, you know my name, oh. Abba Father, yeah. You know me, you know my name. Yelele, 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 yelele.
I know Antonio Guterres is also very objective. I know for him to have raised the 17 points sustainable development goals to bring peace and stability across the world is because he loves objectivity and he loves truth. I know he will do the right thing. But before that, let us get to the presidency of the South Korea and say our case to him. Since he is making a good moves and is being recognized by the international community, invited by King Charles, and King Charles has a very big role to play in our movement. Invited by Macron, Macron has a very big role to do when it comes to our movement. Invited by Olaf Scholz, some months back, Olaf Scholz has so much to do to say in related to our movement. Since this particular president is moving across with this, is having meetings, and even he went to meet with President Joe Biden some months back. Since this particular president is having contact with these big leaders who are too connected to our movement, it's good we reach out to him too, because during their side discussion and their toasting when they are drinking and signing agreements, he can just whisper in behind them and tell them that I know what my statesman Ban Ki-moon did. And so, sir, please, I wish we could do this to free these people that have been under torment, under marginalization, under annexation, under slavery, and to a 7-year war today. There's something we can do to liberate them. So, President Dr. Samuel Sako, take your time and get in touch with President Yoon of South Korea. Annyeonghaseyo. Annyeonghaseyo, Mr. President. Yes. Greetings to you, Mr. President. President Yoon, greetings to you.
안녕하세요.
지금까지 한국 생활 생각하고 있습니다. 지금까지
감사합니다. 안녕하세요. 감사합니다. Well, thank you very much, my beloved brother, President of South Korea. 안녕하세요. And 감사합니다. I was there too, and I wish I could go back to South Korea. I saw and witnessed some of the things and the infrastructure and some of the things that my brother here was talking about. And La Republique knew that if they left us alone, Ambazonia would become the envy of the world, because what God has given to us, we were not selfish. We started distributing it. Tomatoes were leaving Santa, carrots were leaving other places, and they were finding themselves in Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, from Ambazonia, all kinds of food stuff. That's to show that Ambazonia was and is very generous and is willing to have the continent of Africa benefit from the blessings that God has given to them. And that's why our president and his cabinet and the departments of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, even though they have suffered a lot of setbacks from some of the people who have seen that this struggle is a money-making organization for them. Some of them of the Ambazonian origin, they don't want this fight to finish. And so they did everything to put obstacles in front of President Sako, telling lies, things that they cannot substantiate, deceived a lot of people who are gullible and listening to lies without verification. But we have come out to shout it on top of our voices to let Ambazonians know that there is nothing like a plurality of leadership. The country was restored by Ayuk Tabe during the regime of Ayuk Tabe, not by him. During the regime of Ayuk Tabe, the restoration of our independence that was even existing before 1961, the Endele, Gomjoa, Foncha governments that made Ambazonians achieve all that we have lost over these 60 years that La Republique came in and then stole everything, destroy our airports, destroy our seaports, destroy every infrastructure, our electricity plant in Yoke, as the young man mentioned, and other things. We have been restored to that government that had those things. But some Ambazonians, whatever name they call themselves, they've decided to make a covenant, an agreement, to sign a pact with La Republique du Cameroon to destroy our people. And to destroy them, they want to take away those that are standing firm. Some of them have come very close, because it is noted that a best friend is the one that actually kills the friend. Like we saw in the case of Thomas Sankara and the Blaise Compaoré. It almost happened in Ambazonia. But God, who has appointed his servant, who has refused bribery and corruption, who has refused to dance to the tune of the world, who has refused to make money out of the blood of suffering Ambazonians, who himself did not want anybody to die, but wanted us to come to the table. But so many Ambazonians who have been poisoned by La Republique through France, giving them booze to drink. And when they drink and get drunk, they forget to think. And so they go ahead to kill. And they have signed so many contracts, some of them struggling to pay the contracts now, still mentioning the name of Ambazonia, but fighting one person, not La Republique of Cameroon, but fighting Sako. What an unfortunate situation that has been happening. But I want to reassure the Ambazonians that the battle is set, and God is the one that is leading our president, and that is why you will never hear him mention anybody's name for evil. If he's mentioning somebody's name, he wants to mention it for good. But some of us who are whistleblowers, we must make you to know and to understand and to note that not all that say Ambazonia are actually Ambazonians. One of them is actually out to kill Ambazonians, and he has been saying it and killing them. He said he was going to kill the Prince of Kugwe and hang his head on the tree, and he did. So Ambazonians, watch out. Watch out. Watch out, Ambazonians, and be very, very careful and make sure that you don't fall a victim. Now there's somebody who is shouting out there, leaders, our leaders. No, we don't have our leaders. We have just one leader, and that is the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, who at this moment, this is his turn. Like Ayuk Stabek's turn came and ended, and what happened. And today, we have one leader, the president. You cannot be in prison and be a leader or orchestrate leaders. Now you form groups to try to destabilize the Ambazonian quest. Sorry for you. And those of you who are out here and you have your freedom, please join your LGA, join your county. Let's fight La République du Cameroon and not one another, and prove to us that you are fighting La République du Cameroon and not fighting yourselves. Ambazonians, the battle is up and the battle must be won. I want to let you know that God the Father, who has seen that Ambazonia is just 20% of the population of La République du Cameroon. And for La République du Cameroon trying to downplay and deal with Ambazonia is just a joke. So let's get on now and listen to our brother. And as I promise you, we shall be coming back with more information for you to know. Remember, we cannot tell you some of the diplomatic outreaches that we are doing and the strategies that we are firing. When we come out to warn the Nigerian ex-football players not to attempt to miss or to get their death in Ambazonia, is because of the love of God in our hearts. Because our president, like I told you before, Dr. Samuel Ekome, did not want anybody to die by the battle of the gun. No, by the bullet of the gun, no. He didn't want it. He did everything to make sure that we sit on the round table and discuss this issue with La République du Cameroon. If they are right, then they can own us. If they are not right, then they can leave us to go. But some people saw the tenacity, sincerity, honesty of this particular man, and they decided to carry out a lot of blackmail, which has not worked. Remember, we are on history, and this is Amba history. And those of them who were very, very serious with us, that turned out to be bought over by La République du Cameroon through bribery and corruption. But that, because that's the best they can do in the world. Yes, anything that entails wickedness and evil, La République is very good at it. So they bought over some of our Ambazonian people. Unfortunately, some of them are still shouting the name Ambazonia now. And many people have been carried away by that jest, because they call Ambazonia. They think that they are actually for Ambazonia. But while we know that they are not from Ambazonia. And that's why we are sounding the warning. And La Republic has decided, like I warned before, I'm telling the Nigerian people that this battle is not between Ambazonia and Nigeria. La Republic came in to seize our land, and now they have employed some of their henchmen to call some of you to be killed in Ambazonia by themselves. They will be the people to kill you, and they will turn around and say that the Ambazonians have killed somebody in Nigeria, just to cause confusion, because they don't share boundaries with Nigeria. They want that our boundaries and our neighborliness should be stained. So we have warned, especially Amukachi and Okocha, not to come to Ambazonia for anything that Etofis is trying to do, calling it friendly match. No, we are at war, actually genocide. And these people will turn around and kill you and put the blame on Ambazonia. Ask Sylvester Madu, the actor, what happened to him in Bamenda. He will tell you that he escaped by the threat of life. And now we are warning you because we love you and because Ambazonia doesn't want the death of anybody. Left to our president and this interim government, nobody would have died with a bullet. Just like the 15 countries that separated from the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, and there was no gunshot, but they all went and got their independence. That is exactly what would have happened, left to our president and his team. So we have warned you not to get a surprise. And if anything happens to you tomorrow, if the Republic quacks you into believing their lies that they have been spreading, that calm has returned, well, come and meet the calm. God bless the people of Ambazonia, and God bless everyone that is listening to this broadcast. And please make sure you share so that some of these Nigerians who are our neighbors should know that La Republic has set a trap against them, and we will not allow them to fall victim in the trap. May God bless the people of Ambazonia.
Papa, you know me. Yelele, 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 yelele.
Alert, alert, alert. This is Dr. Martin Mungwa, Secretary of State for Communication and IT for the interim government. Today is Thursday, October 5th, 2023. Dear Ambazonians, dear ARF, I come to you today for talk about this. Alert, alert, alert. This is Dr. Martin Mungwa, Secretary of State